You're being very rude and impolite. No one has, I'm not even on the phone. No, you are. You are a public servant.
Welcome to Bus Driver Life. I am an actual bus operator in Sacramento, California, as you can see right here. And are cell phones, sound from cell phones and mobile devices on public transit a problem for the operator as well as other passengers?
Yes.
Can it be a distraction? Is it fair for a bus operator to ask somebody to turn the sound off on their phone, whether it's music or they're watching TikTok videos, YouTube videos, IG reels, whatever they're watching? Is it okay for the bus operator to request that? In most cases on public transit buses, one of the rules posted is to not play loud music or, that's just anything from your phone or Bluetooth speakers. Like you should have earbuds or headphones. It's supposed to be music or whatever you're listening to. It's supposed to be your own personal enjoyment. Even if you're on a phone conversation, you shouldn't have it on speaker. You should have some AirPods, some earbuds. It's not supposed to be for everyone else to hear, and it can be a distraction to the bus operator.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Depending on how loud it is. But let's take a look at this video that was posted on Facebook. This is from Juan Enriquez, I think it is. And he says, took my son on a bus ride for fun today, and this is what we got. Let's see what they got.
You're being very rude and impolite. No one has, I'm not even on the phone. No, you are. Okay, what's your name? What is your name? Okay, I got you. My phone's not even on. So you're talking to somebody else.
So she says, turn down the sound on your phone. I don't see what's rude about that. Maybe her approach at some point was rude, but she's sitting way up in the front. He's sitting there in the back. Of course she's in the front because she's in the driver's seat. She's the bus operator.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
But buses are loud. So of course she's going to talk loud. I have to talk loud when someone's asking me a question from back there on the bus. Like they're back there asking a question. Hey, bus driver, what time do you get here and there? I can barely hear them, especially when it's hot outside. I got the air on, I got my vent on, and I got the radio in my ear, the sounds from the bus and rolling over bumps and potholes and all of that stuff. I can't hear y'all. I really can't. I can't hear myself when I'm responding. So I have to speak loud because I'm like, well, hopefully they'll hear my response. I prefer you to ask questions when you're like right up there by me, like when you first get on the bus. But I digress. But yeah, she said, turn the sound off on your phone. You are supposed to do that.
He ain't lying.
The bus operator has every right to ask you to turn the sound off on your phone. People get on the bus blasting music. I had one time somebody was playing a video, watching a video, and it had constant police sirens on it. I'm driving a bus and I'm hearing police. I'm like, is that for real or is that your phone? But if I say something, I'm the bad guy here. Oh, how dare you tell me to turn the sound off on my phone? You bus drivers are so rude. Some of y'all are really crazy. Like, we can't say anything. You are just supposed to be able to get on the bus and do whatever you want to do. And if we say something, oh, what's your name? What's your badge number? I'm going to report you. You're going to call in and report the bus operator because they asked you to turn the sound down. Now, I will say, if she was rude and disrespectful, calling people out of their name, insults, threats, things of that nature, then yes, you have every right to call in, and we'll continue watching the video and we'll see, was she insulting people? Was she threatening people? We'll see. Let's check it out. Let's finish watching this video.
I don't know, and I don't care, but you're being rude. You're being rude though.
Why are you arguing with me?
Why are you being rude?
Doesn't matter how I'm being.
You're being rude. You're supposed to serve the public. You're a public servant.
Distracting me while I'm
You are a public servant. Serve the public. Let's see how long she sits here for.
I need a call back.
We just need to go one more stop, please. If you don't mind.
I really hate that. You're a public servant. Serve the public. I do what I want to do. I say what I want to say.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Yes, we are offering a service to the public, just like police officers, firefighters, things of that nature. But that does not mean that we don't have rights. That does not mean that we cannot speak up. And that does not mean that we are your slave and we do exactly what you tell us to do. That's not what public servant or service worker means. So I got to say, that was an extremely goofy thing to say. You're a public servant, serve the public.
I said what I said.
The operator is trying to serve the public, but if people are playing loud music and loud videos on their phone, That can be a distraction. And also, you have other passengers on the bus. Some people get on playing the most vulgar, profane music in movies and videos. And listen, I don't have a problem necessarily with that. Some of my favorite movies are rated R. Some of my favorite movies and some songs I listen to may have some language in it. But when you're in a public setting like that, you're supposed to keep that stuff to yourself. You're supposed to that's supposed to be your own personal enjoyment. And if a public servant says, hey, you have to turn the sound off on your phone, I'm not going to move the bus until everyone turns the sound off and the music off on their phones and wear headphones or earbuds. I'm not moving the bus until that is done because it's a distraction. That doesn't mean that you get to say, you're a public servant. Serve me.
You are a public servant. Serve the public.
Serve me and drive. That's crazy. So obviously this was an issue that was going on prior to the filming of this short snippet. So she clearly had an issue with somebody or multiple people when it came to playing the sound on their phones. People, when you get on the bus, just wear earbuds or headphones. If you don't have those, just wait until you exit the bus to play your music or your videos.
No, no, no. No.
Especially if you're trying to play them out loud. The bus is not the place for that. So you can see he says right here, this is Juan. He says, that is only a portion of the problem. This lady was being rude to people for my entire ride. She heard someone's phone and pulled over and turned off the bus. So what was she doing that was rude the entire ride? Because honestly, even with their interaction, she didn't sound rude. She sounded like she was irritated. And to be honest, I'm not just trying to take up for the bus operator, but Juan sounded more rude than her.
He ain't lying.
But anyway, he claims she was being rude to people the entire ride. She heard someone's phone and pulled over, turned off the bus until she didn't hear the phone. Okay. Cool. And it was hot as HE double hockey sticks. When she heard her phone again, she started yelling. And that's when I asked why she was being so rude to people. You're entitled to your opinion, but I don't believe it's okay to be rude to people for no reason. Okay, so it's not an opinion about the phones and playing loud music and videos. You're not supposed to do that on the bus. It's a policy. What you have is an opinion. You think that she's a public servant, so she needs to shut up and just drive no matter what, even if she's dealing with distractions. Let's see what these comments said. So in response to that, Jim said, there's just one rude, arrogant, disrespectful, and ignorant individual in this clip. You, talking to Juan. Transit operators have a tough enough job without being hassled by people like yourself. Yes, they serve the public, but that doesn't mean you can treat them like a slave. Hey, I said that, and that's facts. Public transportation serves the public by getting everyone to their destination safely. It does not mean passengers are entitled to behave however they want. A transit driver is responsible for dozens of lives while maneuvering a large vehicle. If someone's phone is loud enough to distract the driver, asking them to silence it is reasonable, not rude, and pulling over until the distraction stops is far safer than continuing to drive while distracted. Recording only the driver's reaction while leaving out what passengers did beforehand doesn't tell the whole story. And that's exactly what happens in so many of these cases where people are trying to demonize bus operators. Now, understand, I do get that there are some bus operators who actually do bad things and say the wrong things and are unprofessional.
Stop talking back to me! This is a stressful job!
To be honest with you, any of us bus operators, including myself, can have a bad day, can make a mistake, can say the wrong thing.
He ain't lying.
So I'm not trying to say all bus operators are little angels that do nothing wrong. But in this case, man, you're trying to demonize this bus operator and you're saying that she was rude the entire ride. There's no proof of that. You're not showing why she said what she said, but you told on yourself by filming the part where she said you need to turn off the sound on the phone. That's what the issue is here. If that would have never happened, this whole back and forth between you and her would have never happened. So this comment from Andre says, this lady does not like her job. It's time to move on. Find something you enjoy doing. The whole point of training someone is to be able to do their job no matter what it is, the way they're supposed to do. And a phone ringing or someone talking doesn't make a difference. Yes, it does. If she can't handle that, see ya. And you're right. It doesn't excuse her piss poor attitude. Debbie says she is enforcing rules and those rules are posted right there in front of you. There are cameras inside and outside the bus and drivers just doing their job. Anthony says you're a public servant, serve the public. Darn right. Shut up, Anthony. But let me know what you all think. And thank you for watching Bus Driver Life. I can't seem to find my bus fare nowhere.